So we've spoken to the experts, interviewed rangers, farmers, even tourism operators about what's going on with crocs in Queensland. Now it's time to head north, have some fun, and find some crocodiles.
To this episode's convoy. So at the front we have Chris in Ziggy, our 300 series Land Cruiser. Now he's towing the caravan. I'm in Lucky, the 79 series, and I've got the toy trailer behind me. So I've got the boat and the quads and all the fun stuff. Then behind me we have a special guest on this episode. We have Pete. Now, Pete is my uncle. He has been around Australia so many times. He's taught me a lot about forward driving and all things camping. And if there's one guy you want with you on a camping trip, it is Pete, because he cooks the most amazing campfire dinners. So very excited to see what we'll be eating on this trip.
It's late in the dry season, and the upper reaches of the mighty Normanby River stopped flowing long ago. This once continuous river is now broken up into large stretches of fresh water, absolutely teeming with fish and crocs. Old Faithful Waterhole is a deep, permanent body of water roughly 3 k's long, with a few campsites along the western edge. The high banks and thick scrub near camp make fishing a little tricky, but luckily there's a couple of decent spots to throw the tinny in, so we set up camp, wait for nightfall to check this incredible place out.
We're in. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
Crocs can be really hard to spot during the day because they naturally avoid humans. Occasionally you'll catch a glimpse of a really big animal out basking in the sun, but most of the time they'll just disappear below the surface. You never even know they were there. At night, it's a different story. With a decent torch or headlamp, you can spot croc eye shine from a couple hundred metres away.
We head upstream to have a look, and sure enough, less than 100 metres from camp, there's a 2-metre croc just hanging out. We keep cruising and find this gorgeous little guy. He'd only be a year or two old, so he's got to hide in the shallows because everything wants to eat him. Another 100 metres upstream and there's crocs everywhere.
It's all going well, and then this big animal around the 4-metre mark cruises out from behind a fallen tree and just beamlights straight for us.
We were in his territory, and those other crocs, they were his ladies. Now it's coming to their breeding season, and he does not want us around, so we turn tail and get right out of there.
I told Chris we probably should have put the outboard on for that one.
It's getting late, so we make our way back to camp for a well-earned rest, because tomorrow we're going fishing. Land boy.
After a nice little archer fish, it's time to drag the outboard down to the boat and head upstream to explore. Yesterday we met an old local fishing guide named Jack. Now Jack's been fishing Lakefield for over 50 years, so he's seen his fair share of crocs, and he reckons there's a big black crocodile up the top of the waterhole. So we head upstream because I've got to check this out. I leave Kira and Uncle Pete fishing the top of the waterhole and start walking. Now Jack reckons this croc sits under an old rock bar and he's not too shy either. And sure enough, within a minute of getting there, this big dark croc pushes up the creek and disappears under the water right in front of me. Now I don't know if he's quite the 6-metre mark like Jack said, but he was a good sized animal and a great example of why you need to stay croc wise in croc country.
We check out a couple of croc slides on the way back to camp and come across Old Faithful's basking spot.
It was pretty cool imagining him sitting up there surveying his territory.
It's a shame that Old Faithful had to be removed, but I do believe that the rangers are doing their best. Given the number of people and the number of crocodiles sharing the same waterholes, it's a real big ask to try and keep everyone safe.
We drag the tinny out and pack up camp, because this afternoon is all about fishing and we've got just the place for it.
Kennedy Bend is a popular overnight camping and fishing spot about 35 kilometres north of Old Laura. Located on the main road with plenty of barramundi, this place sees its fair share of fishing lines every dry season.
We've come to Kennedy Bend to catch barra and look for one big crocodile. This particular crocodile has been targeted for removal because he's been seen approaching fishermen and even coming all the way up into the car park.
This is also the site of a recent fatality. On Saturday, the 29th of April 2023, 65-year-old Kevin Stumpy Darmody stopped in here for a quick fish with a few mates on his way back to open up the Laura Hotel where he was a publican. Now, nobody saw what happened, but a yell followed by a big splash was the last anyone would ever hear of Stumpy. Now, witnesses say there weren't actually any signs of a crocodile, so there was no water on the bank, no fishing rod, just his thongs right where he'd left them. 2 days later, 2 crocodiles were shot and Kevin's remains were found inside one of them. So we don't know how he ended up in the water, but we do know what happened to him once he was in.
Chris has taken off to look for that big croc, but Uncle Pete and I, we're going fishing.
Oh, that's dinner. It spat him. How do you feel? Can we get a post-fish interview?
Oh, doesn't that disappoint? Yeah, first barra on the lure.
I can't let them catch all the fish, so I head back, grab my gear, and it turns out to be the best fishing session of my life. Just a little fella, still bloody good fun. There's another barra. Still not huge, but geez, they're good fun. Definitely worth the trip and the effort. So many barra in this one hole, but that big croc's over there at the moment, so gotta get well back from the edge. There's a bit of fish. It's a good fish. Got him. I don't know how big he is, but he's definitely legal, and he's definitely dinner. Yeah, I definitely didn't land that fish safely. I had no net, no gaff. The braid wasn't strong enough to drag that fish up the bank out of the water, and looking back, I probably should have left it.
Uncle Pete gets started on barra bites for dinner, so Chris and I head off to find this big crocodile.
Sure enough, a couple 100 metres up from camp, this big boy has come in to investigate.
He's a pretty distinct animal with white scar tissue all around his snout, probably from fighting with other crocs. We get a decent look, but he knows we're onto him, and that's the last we'll see of this big fella for the night.
Fresh caught barra bites around the fire, and it's time to call it a night. We're just heading out now with an absolute legend of a ranger here, Laurie. He said he knows where there's a couple big crocodiles, so he's going to go show us and hopefully we'll be able to spot them. Laurie is a senior ranger with Ringaroo Aboriginal Corporation, who alongside Queensland Parks co-manage the 544,000 hectare national park.
Laurie's understanding of his country was on a whole other level, so every plant, every animal, every tree, he makes us whitefella biologists look pretty silly. We wander along the banks at Catfish Waterhole, keeping an eye out for the 2 big resident crocs. Laurie thinks if we sit down, it won't be long before the crocs come to check us out. Sure enough, within a minute or two, the big female glides right past us. With no sign of the male, we make our way back up the waterhole. From 100 metres away, on the far bank and half disguised, Laurie somehow manages to spot the big fella, just basking in the morning sun.
We say our goodbyes to Laurie and head back to pack up camp. We're heading north today to explore Llama country. Lama country is located to the northwest of Ringaroos National Park. Following the coastline north from Princess Charlotte Bay, this incredible place incorporates national parks, nature reserves, pasture land and freehold. We're starting our search for crocs at Port Stewart in the north before making our way down to Running Creek.
We finally get the chance to give the quad bikes a run and we're off.
We spoke to local ranger Sam and he reckons the only time they've ever had problems with crocs was when tourists were cleaning their fish at the boat ramp. Now, this little croc was hanging around and it actually took a dog. So, croc had to get removed, they moved the fish cleaning station, no more problems with crocs. It's low tide and we're able to follow the sandbank far upstream, but as soon as that tide starts coming in, we have to go bush. Further up, we find a number of shallow waterholes, but with no signs of crocodiles, we make the call to head back to camp. Kira's getting pretty confident on our new quad, and sure enough, she comes unstuck.
Well, I was just riding along and then I wasn't.
Roll it back onto its wheels, fire it up, and there's not a mark on it.
I seriously don't know what he was worried about.
Now there's not many crocs in this spot, so we pack up camp, head south to a place called Running Creek. We get to this nice wide sandy creek. It's kind of soft and we're towing, so we air down a bit and I just roll right across it.
I don't really know what I'm doing here. I've driven on sand a bit, but I've never towed on sand. So, we'll see how we go. Oh, hello. Oh no. What do I do? What do I do?
What happened, mate?
I don't know.
I think you're in neutral.
Am I not in high? Says that's high.
Alright, so there you go there. You lucky bugger. To be fair, those 70 series transfer cases can be a bit tricky.
Well, not really sure what happened there. I may have been in neutral. Pete, of course, just rolls through in his Defender. That thing is a weapon.
We come out onto the beach just before sunset, make camp and settle down for a well-deserved rest.
I wake up early to a perfect Cape York sunrise, so birds everywhere, creeks to explore. I've got to check this place out. All along the back of the beach, there's a series of landlocked creeks with overhanging vegetation, greeny brown water, and here, coming out of a puddle, is this huge croc slide. It's hard to tell exactly how big this animal was from the slide, but it looked to be over 3 meters, so easily going to ruin your day if you go in the water. I head back to camp, Kira and Uncle Peter up and about, so we head for a creek further up the beach. Once again, croc tracks everywhere. Should be a good place for a spotlight tonight.
3 k's north of camp is Running Creek, a great looking spot for a fish. But rather than tow the boat, Chris tries for a beach launch. Bad idea. It's all smooth sailing on the hard sand, but the second Chris hits the soft stuff, he's going nowhere.
We drop the tyres, but the boat's just an anchor. So we rip the wheels off and scull drag it down the beach.
What's happened, Chris?
Well, these things aren't great in soft sand. With a bit of help, we finally get the tinny in the water and fight the wind all the way up to the creek.
We get to the creek and it's absolutely beautiful. But Chris has to race back to make a phone call, so Uncle Pete and I settle in for a nice afternoon fishing. After all the drama of getting the boat in the water, we figured that 2 quads could drag it straight out of the water, right? Nah.
We gave those pots the berries, but it just wasn't happening. We even tried daisy chaining the quads, but still no good.
So we make the call, we're gonna need a bigger quad.
Alright, it's in low, going second gear, handbrake off. She's coming. She's coming well.
Have action.
It's too easy in this thing. I kind of feel bad for my boat. I think I got a thumbs up. I can't see him.
At this point, we had 1 night left in Cape York, so let's get out there and find some critters. Legless lizards, shipwrecks, baby crocs, baitfish and eye shine absolutely everywhere. You gotta love Cape York. We pack up camp and make our way south. We've got one last stop on our Crocs of the Cape adventure to get to.
We're in Lakefield at the moment and it is absolutely bucketing down. So it's not quite the wet season, but it is well on its way with all this rain. We were hoping to get a few large chances to find some crocs today, but with all this rain, I don't think we're going to spot any.
We stop in the Lalawa pub and pay our respects to Kevin Stumpy Darmody. With 3,000 Ks home, we'd better stick to just one.
Thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Lake Mac Zoo Goes Wild.